Fabian. We'll take some questions from the room first.
Yeah.
Hi, Fabian. How are you?
Hey, how you doing? You okay?
Good. You were pulled from your February bout in Dublin, and then you get Lyoto in your home country. Was it bittersweet, kind of? I mean, frustrating, of course, because you didn't get to compete, but you get a much bigger name on home soil.
Yeah, no, it was definitely bittersweet. You know what I mean? I haven't competed in like a year. I've had 2 cancelled fights, 2 back-to-back cancelled fights. So, yeah, it was frustrating. But when Bellator came to me with the news that I've got Machida, I was like, all right, then that makes up for it,
Yeah, and Lyoto has lost his last few in a row, but a couple of split decisions. Do you think he's kind of on a decline? What do you make of Lyoto? Which version do you think you're going to get of him?
I think I'm still going to get the best version, because at the end of the day, the people that he's lost against, 2 are champions, and 1's a #1 contender. You know what I mean? So he hasn't gone in there and lost against random people that's been dragged in. He's lost against top people. So when I go out there and I defeat him, I don't want to hear none of this talk about he's old, and I don't hear none of that bullshit. You know what I mean?
And he's dropping back down to 85. It's been maybe the last couple of fights have been at light heavyweight. Do you think that has any significance, the fact that he's going to drop back down at this point in his career?
Not really, because he never was a big light heavyweight. You know what I mean? It probably just, for those fights, probably just felt a bit lazy. You know what I mean? Couldn't be bothered to cut the weight. Fuck it, I'll just fight a light heavyweight. So, nah, I don't think it'll make any difference.
And I know being away for a year has been frustrating for you, coming off of those 2 losses. What takeaways did you have from those? Because obviously you started out with a lot of momentum and unbeaten in your career.
Just keep training, keep pushing. You know what I mean? In this game, it's a long game. You know what I mean? It's a long journey. It's not a sprint, it's a marathon. So I just took away, back to the gym, back working, and don't give up on myself. You know what I mean? So confidence is the biggest part of my game, keeping that confidence. And those losses hadn't knocked me one bit. So, yeah, I went back to the gym, worked with my coaches, and, yeah, I'm still confident as ever.
And your brother Leon's also had to exercise a lot of patience, of course, because his title bout keeps getting pushed. But you guys are always in the gym. So what kind of conversations do you have with each other?
Just the usual, just keep training and stay focused. Because at the end of the day, that's all you can do in this game. You're going to stay focused, they're going to fall off. And we're definitely doing the second option. You know what I mean? So just stay focused. Be patient. Your time will come.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hello, Fabian. How are you?
Hey, what up?
Yeah, how's it going? So obviously we touched up on the Lyoto Machida matchup, but I want to know personally, what does it mean for you to face, a legend like Lyoto Machida, who's held the UFC championship, had a fantastic career? Just express that for me.
Like I said it in the interviews before. Like, he's not my legend, if that makes sense. You know what I mean? I didn't grow up on him, watching him, thinking, fuck, this guy's great. You know what I mean? Like, when I came into the sport, and I came in late, I was like 22. My brother showed me Anderson Silva and a few other guys, and I thought Silva was like the GOAT and still is. You know what I mean? So for me, it don't mean a lot to me personally. He's just another guy that's gonna go in there and try to take my head off. You know what I mean? So at the end of the day, it's just another fight for me.
So with a win over Lyoto Machida, do you see that, putting yourself back into the World Championship talk?
Yeah, definitely, especially a finish as well, because those last 3 guys that beat him, it's been split decisions and close fights. You know what I mean? So I go out there and I finish him. That's going to make a big statement.
And then lastly, about the Bellator London crowd. I know you fought in Bellator London quite a few times, but how does this one feel?
It feels good, man. You know what I mean? I feel really calm, composed, and it feels good. I'm excited to go out there and perform in front of a crowd. With this COVID stuff that's been around, there hasn't been a crowd for almost 3 years or so. I haven't fought in front, so it'd be good to go out there and feel that energy and live off that energy. Thank you.
Hi, Fabian. Have you had a chance to sort of go about London? Have you had many people sort of stopping you, like any fans coming up to you while you've been down this way?
No, we've just been stuck around Wembley. You know what I mean? We've done a bit of bowling earlier. I've been in the arcade and that, but that's about it. You know what I mean? There's not a lot to do around Wembley apart from just chill.
Win many tickets in the arcade, or?
Nah, mate, I got smoked at bowling, so it wasn't a good day for me at the arcade, but you know what I mean?
I've covered a couple of the golden ticket fight promotion cards, and it's always good to see. I've seen you and your brother there a couple of times. You got quite a few good young guys coming up. Obviously, amateur, you got guys like Shea Ingram, who had a great win against a tough guy.
Yeah.
Then in the pros, you got Mo Shazley, got an insanely great finish.
Yeah.
How long do you reckon it's going to be until we start seeing guys like that coming up to places like Bellator?
The next few years, you know what I mean? Because they got a great team around them. You know what I mean? They got guys that's competing in all different levels. So we can offer them that advice if they need it, you know what I mean? So I think the next few years, you'll definitely see those guys in these big promotions.
And obviously, not wanting to look ahead too far past Lyoto, because obviously, he's a very experienced guy. He's fought at the very, very top level. Are there any particular fighters that you've got your eyes on for a next matchup?
I'm looking at that rematch, you know what I mean, Vanderford or Costello or Machida. No, sorry, not Machida, sorry, Misasi. That's what I'm looking for. You know, I felt in those two close fights, I could have won those fights, you know what I mean? Like this version of Fabian would smoke those guys, you know what I mean? So I want to go out there and prove to myself and prove to everyone else that that's just like a little mistake on my part, you know?
No worries. Best of luck on Friday, man.
Yeah, thank you.
All right, Fabian, let's get a couple from Zoom. Let's start with Jay.
Thanks very much. And Fabian, when you talk about getting the best version of Lyoto Machida, when you look at this with him coming in off of a couple of losses and coming back to the division, do you see him as maybe more dangerous because his back's against the wall and because maybe he sees your number 4 ranking and thinks he can kind of swoop in and take advantage?
If he thinks that, then he needs to think something else, you know what I mean? But I don't know. I feel like when your back's against the wall, yeah, you are more dangerous, you know what I mean? But at the same time, you're more acceptable to make mistakes, you know what I mean? So if he thinks he's going to come in there and just bulldoze me, he can think again, because that's not going to happen, you know what I mean? Yeah.
Absolutely. And you mentioned Musashi there. Obviously, he's got a fight coming up with Johnny Eblin. He's been so dominant in his run as champ here. How do you see that going?
If I'm honest, I can see it being the same. You know what I mean? I can see it being the same. Johnny's going to go out there and try to be a hugger bum. You know what I mean? Trying to hug him and all of that stuff there. And I think Musashi's experienced enough for those type of guys, you know. But I feel like a matchup with me and Musashi, that's going to be a good matchup. That can be like two high-level strikers going at it. That's going to be a great matchup when it comes around to it.
Absolutely. Well, best of luck this Friday.
Yeah, thank you.
Santiago.
Hi, Fabian. Greetings from Amsterdam. Thank you for the time. How did your camp go at Team Renegade? And just in general, how is the energy in the gym these days with Leon, Jai, and the other boys?
The energy is great. You know what I mean? The energy is really great. In Birmingham, we're doing big things. So, yeah, the energy's been good. Camp's been good. I've had my brother in camp helping me out, and Tim Wild as well. He's also on the card. He's got a big fight coming up himself. Yeah, it's been a good energy around the gym, you know.
Bellator is traveling through Europe again. How soon do you think Bellator should return to Birmingham, Fabian? Because that first event there was massive, right?
Yeah, that was a sick event. You know what I mean? So I feel like a big finish on Friday. I would want that. You know what I mean? I would like to bring back one of those guys from a rematch as me main event in Birmingham. You know what I mean? That would be a big event.
You have been in the Bellator middleweight division for a couple of years now. What do you see when you look at the division right now, Fabian?
Not much, you know. The guys are pretty boring in there. You know what I mean? If I'm honest, the guys are pretty boring. There's not a lot of guys in there that's trying to go out there and get exciting finish. So yeah, it's a bit stale and a bit boring. So Friday, I'm trying to go out there and bring that back to that division, big finishes.
Good luck on fight night, sir.
Thank you.
Kobe.
Hi, Fabian. You mentioned that the MMA game is not a sprint. It's more of a marathon. And obviously at this point, Lyoto's run a couple. Do you think his experience and his unorthodox style is a problem at all? Or at this point, are you just going to stick to what you do best and bring it to him?
I'm just going to stick to what I do. You know what I mean? It's been around so long, it doesn't change his game. So, like on Friday, we're not gonna go in there and see a different version of Machida. You know what I mean? It might be fit or strong or not, but we're gonna see Machida. You know what I mean? He's gonna come out there and do exactly what he does. So it's not a style when I look at it, I think, oh, that's a crazy style. He throws straight punches and he throws kicks without setting them up. He's not coming in there jumping off the cage and throwing spinning shit. You know what I mean? He's not throwing anything mad. So I will be ready for that style.
And you mentioned since your last fight, you were a significantly better Fabian Edwards. Is this just a matter of you feel stronger, or is it a technique-based thing?
I think it's a mixture of all. You know what I mean? And mentally as well. I've always been mentally strong anyway, but just mentally, when you're maturing more and knowing what works for you more, you gain confidence from that. You know what I mean? And your team become a bit more solid and all of that type of stuff there. So I think it's a mixture of all of those things combined. The reason why I feel like this version of Fabian would kill the guy last year, you know?
Cool. Last one from Ronald.
This is Ronald D. Smith from Getting Real. Fabian, you just brought up how you believe how this version is a way better version than the previous one that you were. But in the mindset of with those two losses, how were you able to get past forward that so you can get to the stage where you are right now?
I just thought to myself, I'm better than that. And that was it. I thought, I'm better than that. I'm better than those guys. You know, he never showed on that night, but I know what skills I possess and what mind frame and all of that, you know what I mean? So I don't feel like I lack in those areas in terms of I don't feel like I could never get to that level. I mean, I feel like I got the attributes and everything. So when I sat back and I thought to myself, man, I got all the attribute, the mind frame, the work ethic, everything to match these guys. I just need to put it all together, and I feel like I have put it all together.
And what message do you want to give out to the fans when they do go see you fight against Lyoto Machida?
Sit back, you know what I mean? Sit back and enjoy, because I'm going to go out there and bring pressure, and that's it. I'm going to go out there, pressure from the jump, smart pressure.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Brilliant. Thanks for joining us, Fabian.
Yeah, thank you, boys.